Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to give you the best simplified explanation of solid principles. For those of you who just heard about this principle, don't worry, because by the end of this video you will have a grasp of what solid principles are and what it is for. Let's start! First of all, before diving into solid principles, I need you to have knowledge about object-oriented programming or OOP, because this principles is built on top of that. So, if you don't have OOP knowledge, please dig down about OOP first before continuing these principles. Well, we will start from common mistakes that almost all developers made. Have you ever felt confused after reading your code which was written 6 months ago? If it is yes, then don't worry. I have the answer for you, but I'm giving it later. The second mistake that most developers made is fixing an endless bugs. Have you ever fixed bug A, then it creates bug B, and then when you fix bug C, it also creates another bug D. In this situation, you might feel tiresome fixing an endless bugs. Again, don't worry, because I have the answer for this too. And we have arrived to the answer of both common mistakes that most developers made. As you might have guessed, it is solid principles. Actually, it does solve other problems too, but I am showing only the most common one. So, once you understand this principle, your upcoming project will have a much better code quality. Maybe you have been wondering why it is called solid principles. Well, actually, it consists of 5 principles in it. Let's start with the first principle, which is S, that stands for Single Responsibility Principle. O, that stands for Open-Close Principle. L, that stands for Least Cost Substitution Principle. I, that stands for Interface Segregation Principle. And the last principle, which is D, that stands for Dependency Inversion Principle. In this video, I'm not going to dig down into each of these principles. The scope of this video is just to give you general overview of what solid principles are. But in the next video, I will dig down into each principle. Now, what are solid principles? In simple terms, solid principles are software development principles for programming with OOP paradigm. Please do note that these principles are not tied to any programming languages. So, as long as the programming language you use support OOP paradigm, for instance, Kotlin, Python, JavaScript, Java, or anything else, then you can implement these principles. These principles was introduced by Robert C. Martin, or also known as Uncle Bob, in his paper Design Principles and Design Patterns. It was written in 2000. Yes, you're not hearing nor seeing it wrong. It was written 20 years ago from this video being published. So it shows that these principles are quite powerful because it is still relevant until this video is made. The next question that might come into your mind is why solid principles? Well, it is related to the previous slide about common mistakes. From that, we can conclude that by implementing solid principles, we can get 3 benefits. First, it will make your code more understandable. This solves the problem when you open your previous project which was written 6 months ago or more, and you have a hard time to understand it. Second, it will make your code more flexible, meaning when you add new feature into your app, you won't feel hard or break the previous feature of your app. And the third one, it will make your code more maintainable. What it means is when you fix some bugs, it won't create a new bug. After knowing what and why, the next thing that you need to know is when to implement solid principles. The answer is pretty straightforward, which is every time you write codes with OOP paradigm. So you need to know what violates the principle and what is not. If you still don't know what violates the principle and what is not, that's okay. because I will give you the simple example in upcoming videos. That is pretty much everything about solid principles. I hope you get the basic idea of what solid principles are and why it is so important. In the next video, I will dig down into each of solid principles along with the violation example and correct example. If you feel this video is helpful, please do like and share this video to the one who needs this explanation. Please subscribe so you will get noticed if I post a new video. Thank you for watching and see you on the next video.